Court Uncut, what the people want.
Let me ask you something. You're Christopher Henna. How do you pronounce your last name? Wilson. You're here with your attorney.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Adams. I'm looking at this indictment. And I'm just asking you, do you have a mental problem?
Yes.
You think that's funny?
No, sir.
How many family assault convictions do you have?
Yes.
4? Maybe you got one. You're charged with one here, continuous violence of a family. You got an illegal possession of a controlled substance conviction in 2013 out of Fort Bend County. You pick up a assault family assault in 2018 out of Harris County. Then you just move around the state and just assault people. Then you've got another in 2020, a family assault conviction out of Fort Bend County. Oh, here's one. We've got another family assault conviction. These are all felonies out of Harris County, Texas. Now you want to come into Jefferson County and make a mess, mister?
No,
Are these women that you're assaulting?
it's a woman.
Is it?
It's a woman.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Man. What are we going to do
Just
to the person who assaults females regularly?
just with this being his announcement, I'm sorry, initial appearance, I was gonna put it on the announcement.
He's
do
a
have an offer.
habitual felon, right?
Right, and the offer
He's looking at a minimum of 25 up to life imprisonment, right?
right.
Minimum. Okay.
I just don't I don't want to put it
I
on
think a
something.
jury wants to hear this in our county. This isn't where he's going to end up to assault. For his long history of assaults, we're not going to end up here. You're going to go to trial. We're going to let a jury here in Jefferson County decide your fate
Yes, sir.
because they really don't find this sort of behavior amusing here. And you've moved around the state. How many different counties have you been convicted in for felonies? 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5. You sure there's nothing wrong with you mentally?
Not that I know of, sir.
Not that you know of. You don't know the difference between right and wrong.
Yes.
Do you know the difference between assaulting people, that's a crime and that harms others?
Yes, sir.
You've been convicted several times of this, so it's not like it's their problem. It seems to be yours.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're going to stop the problem in this court.
Yes, I understand.
All right. What do you want to do next? Was this an initial appearance?
Yes, sir. I was gonna put it to the announcement, but I think what you're saying is you want to put it on the trial docket, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's gonna put it on the trial.
And here's another situation. Who is this? I'm not going to name the person that you assaulted because I don't want to. I'm sure they've been embarrassed enough by you.
So,
You're going to interrupt me too?
also, I apologize.
You get to speak. You have a fair opportunity to speak, but I sense your personality is dominance over others. That you're going to keep interrupting me
Sorry.
and proving it.
Yes.
You finished? Now can I speak,
Yes.
Mr. Rude Guy? All right. All right. What was the relationship of this person to you?
That's the mother of the children.
The mother of your children.
Yes. She does have a lot of mental issues.
What did you just say?
She does have a lot of mental issues. She actually.
She's not the one convicted here 5 times.
Yeah.
You're believing.
I'm not blaming
That's the jury's going to love that when you get to speak. Yeah. I don't mean to be facetious, but this is extraordinary. Generally, people don't show up with a rich criminal history. You know, you were a habitual felon 2 convictions ago. You had reached habitual felony status. You were looking at 25 to life before the last 2 convictions, which are the same type of offenses that you're here for today. Well, do you have any contact with this person other than when you assault them?
I haven't recently, no, sir.
I want to know when you do. The next time you do, your bond will be revoked. You have no contact with this person. If I find out,
I'm sorry about that.
when you're through talking,
I was just-
again,
No,
Mr. Interrupter,
I'm sorry.
what a bully. What a bully. I can see how you would bully women. Yeah, and have a rich history of it. Convictions of assaulting women. Well, it's going to stop. I find out you have any contact with this person, your bond will be revoked and you can sit it out in jail until we get around to trying this. Plus, you're going to have a GPS device. You have one now?
Yes, sir.
So that if you have any contact, we'll be able to find out where you were at any given time. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, put on the trial docket. Thank you. That's all.
Yes, sir.
And we call 24 CR 1277, State of Texas versus Julio Rolando Ramirez III. That's you.
Yes.
With Ms. Manaldi, your attorney on the state's attorney. Earlier, the defendant believed has entered a plea of guilty in this cause number 24 CR 1277, charging the defendant with this indictment of a third-degree felony of failing to comply with sex offender registration. Pre-sentence report has been prepared. If the parties had an opportunity to review it, are there any corrections or changes to it? State.
I'm reviewing it now, Judge. I have no objections.
Defense.
We don't have any objections, Judge. We just have a clarification on page 3 to do with the criminal history. It says nolo prosequi. I don't think I'm saying that correctly, but I didn't have a chance to clarify for my client that that basically means that the charges were dismissed or were not proceeded on by that other entity. But that's the only thing that I have.
Okay.
Outside of that, we have no.
Then the pre-sentence report is made a part of the record for all purposes. And the agreement in this case is a cap of 5 years imprisonment. So this is third-degree felony. So we're looking at no less than 2, no more than 5 years confinement in prison. And I guess deferred
Or straight.
or straight probation are also options. Couple of things that jumped out of the court as I was highlighting here. Sentenced to 3 years imprisonment for failing to comply with sex offender registration requirements out of Madison County, Texas. And it looks like that, strangely enough, allegedly occurred in 2016, and he was sentenced in 2024, 8 years later, which is mystical. That's an odd situation. I don't know what the deal is on that, but nonetheless, the defendant has a previous conviction for a similar offense, failing to comply. So it's not like you don't know that it has consequences if you fail to honor the conditions of law.
If I may, I previously, up until just the past couple of years, I've been pretty much homeless, going from place to place, sleeping on couches and whatnot. And I've recently been married and have now, basically started to stabilize my life. And I'm wanting to get on the right track and put all this behind me. And I'm just hoping that I could throw myself at the mercy of the court.
Okay. Okay. Um, Put this in context, and I'll start off with, it's never too late to do the right thing.
Yes.
And to make the right choices. But according to this pre-sentence report, you've been committing crimes for 30 years. But I'm just talking 30 years. I mean, that's what it says. 1995, you with the DWI, then DWI second, you've had probations revoked, drug possessions, probation, drug possession, paraphernalia probation, possession of marijuana, DUI in 07. And then we then kind of jumped over to the more serious crimes of several cases in 07 where you were put on probation and then that was revoked. And then you were, so you got, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 6 convictions from that cluster of cases that you were placed on probation that you later, it looks like it was probation in 2007 out of Collier County, Florida. And then those were revoked in 2011. And you were sentenced to prison. Then after that, you have that failure to comply with sex offender registration and pick up 3 years out of Madison County. And then here we are. I think that's so never too late to do the right thing,
Yes.
but I wish you had done it before you picked up this last case. Okay. You see the recommendations from the probation office. And they do always a great job and they're forthright and they hate to see failures because of our track record that we're very proud of and success on probation. But based on discovered findings, it seems neither jail nor probation has been a deterrent for the defendant's conduct. Therefore, prognosis for completing any probation successfully is poor. Well, you can see what they're telling me. Y'all got an uphill battle here to convince me to place him on probation in light of his rich criminal history here. But see what happens. Go ahead.
Judge, before I begin, I have 2 defendants exhibits that are letters from his wife and from his cousin that I would like to offer to you and into.
You're gonna call those like defendants exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, sir, they've been marked. But they represent the current support system that Mr. Ramirez has from his wife and from his cousin. He has job opportunities that will come if he is placed on this probation. He has family members who are giving him a sense of stability that is clearly and has not been reflected over the last major parts of his life. I know that it was mentioned that jail nor probation is a deterrent for the defendant, but to me, that seems like even more of a reason to give him another chance, given this new sense of stability that he has with his family. He knows what he did was wrong. He is not inclined to make the same mistake again. I think given his new set of circumstances that he has currently that are positive in the sense of having that family support, having that spousal support, being able to make the difference and know the difference between right and wrong would weigh towards him being successful on probation at this point. Everybody deserves the chance to do that. I think that given the opportunity, he would show this court that he has changed, he has evolved, he is thankful for that new support system that he has. And this could be a really good chance for him to be successful on a form of probation. Do you have anything else to use?
Well.
When did, let me ask you, when did your life change, take this renaissance of change?
The last time I was, or basically the last couple of years that I've spent in prison.
About when would you say this changed for making better choices?
Well, it said
About when?
the last time I was arrested to serve my 3 years. The time that I spent in prison,
Meaning?
basically showed me that, yes, I can't be doing this anymore. I need to move on.
The Madison County
The Madison
situation?
County conviction, yes, sir.
I think his wife provided a lot of support in that too, and it's notated that they got married around.
When were you sentenced there at that in Madison County? It doesn't make sense. This says this all occurred in 2016, and then I'm looking at it, what purports to be a conviction on April 15th of 2024, a year ago.
That's
3 years. Is that right? So
8 years until it was resolved.
why did it take that long? How could something like that languish for so long? Okay, I don't know. So when was when was the change in your life?
This
Oh.
last prison sentence that I served for Madison County, I saw that it was time to straighten my act up, basically, and do the right thing.
Okay. I'm looking at the probable cause affidavit here because something doesn't make any sense. It says on Saturday, March 9th of 2024 at approximately 12:47, I, Detective Boudreaux, and this is with the he was Grove's Police Department detective, and they do a great job. Arrived at this Lee Street address in Groves to locate a sex offender who has failed to register since 2014 for a decade. Was that right? Or is he falsifying an affidavit?
Well, I wasn't here. I wasn't in Texas. I was in, between Texas and.
I'm going to ask you one more time the question. This says you had failed to register since 2014 as a registered sex offender properly. Is that true or not?
Yes, sir. That's true.
Why do I have to pull that out of you? So it was a decade had gone by.
Yes.
But I mean, here you were living here, and I thought you had inferred that your life had changed for the better once you got married. But you're still a fugitive. How can you live like that? Any day somebody walks up to the front door and goes, "We got you." Finally. And you can't expect to be running for 10 years and not have the sky fall.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But like I said, we're going back 30 years. You've been in the system for 30 years. Are you saying finally now you got it?
Like I said, it's all started the last stint that I did in prison.
When did you do your last stint in prison?
I was just recently released. Just
When did you do your last stint in prison? When did you begin prison? Was it when the police in Groves got you?
No, that April 24th, or that April 15th of 2024 conviction from Madison County Judge.
When he resolved the charges from
When they come up to get him on March 9th, and then they arrest you, right? The police arrest you on March 9th of last year from Groves? Is that right?
No.
Yes, that's the date. March 11th is the offense date, but
It says on Saturday, they arrived and locate who is a sex offender. Upon speaking with the resident, I learned he does still live at this residence, listed as absconder out of Madison County. I located him in November. Oh, I located Ramirez in November 2022, but he failed to register after being advised he was required to. He served time in Jefferson County Jail from August 23 until October 23. At this time, he still has not reported. So I guess they did not take you into custody that day. You must have gone into custody after that.
that's why I received charged, because the offense date is not until March 11th, which is only 2 days later, but
He was indicted and charged in 22 for failure to register. That's what the officer is referring to about the November date, Judge.
but then
That case was dismissed because of the Madison County 3-year sentence.
Well, he's living here. When is he taken into custody? I guess
I'm
that's
checking
curious. I want to see how contrived he is. He's aware. I mean, he's living here. You were living there when the police showed up, but you weren't actually there. But that's where you were residing. Otherwise, right? Okay, I want to know.
Yes, sir.
So you would know immediately if you weren't there. Somebody would have tipped you off. They just showed up looking for you. So, how much time after March 9th did you do the right thing? After 30 years of playing cat and mouse with the system here, I'm going to know how that happened. I mean, did you turn yourself in, or did they finally catch you? It's an easy answer. You know this.
Yeah, yes, sir.
What?
They
caught you. Okay. All right. See, I don't, you gotta pull this out. So you really didn't, you knew about it, but why didn't you, when you heard that now you're caught in like a mouse in the trap, why did you continue to abscond? Bad choice?
Yes.
Your Honor, the jail records reflects that he spent 10 days in jail on failure to register as a sex offender back in August of 2022. He then spent another 60 days on that same charge after it was indicted in 23. That was the case that in your notes reflects was dismissed because of the Madison County charge. He was then arrested in March of 2024.
What date?
March 24th, 2024.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then-
So that would have been 15 days after they showed up,
So that
2 weeks later.
he served he was confined 9 days. Then he was rearrested on that charge on May 7th of 2025, posted bond the next day. That's what our jail records reflect.
Okay. I think I understand. So what are we going to do here? State, what's your recommendation?
Judge, I didn't make this plea bargain agreement, but I made the agreement. It would not have been so generous. Looking at this case, the only thing that's appropriate is the 5 years. As the detective states, he needs jail time. As the probation officer suggests, and you've already quoted, his chances of handling probation is poor. The reality is he's kind of sidestepped issues all throughout. He's been given numerous opportunities, starting with the fact that what requires him to register. The judgment shows that he was charged with 69 counts of child pornography. Those were changed to 6 different charges where he was given probation that was revoked in 2011. In addition to it
Okay,
being,
is this the Florida?
that's the Florida offenses, Judge. He was given a chance to do probation then, and he was revoked because he was unsuccessfully terminated from the sex offender treatment program, which causes me a lot of concerns as far as that's concerned, as it's intended to try to prevent additional charges along those lines. So him being revoked for that reason is worthy of note. Then we get, if we move forward to the fact that Your Honor has already pointed out the fact that he was unregistered, without accountability for 8 different years, and this county chooses to let him off of a charge from 23, where he should have been held accountable because he received a 3-year sentence in Madison.
Which county had let him off?
Jefferson County dismissed a charge in 23 DCCR 1030, and it was for his failure to register, just like we're dealing with here. As the officer points out that dealt with this charge, he is a habitual offender. He's had those convictions there, and then we're dealing with this other charge. So my comment about where the state landed on this with a 5-year cap, in my opinion, is pretty light compared to what we're looking at here. I would ask that you follow the plea bargaining agreement and sentence him to 5 years.
Okay, defense. Go ahead.
Judge, as previously stated, he has his support system here. He has job opportunities for probation. He has a wife and spousal support in that form. He has admitted responsibility here today. He knows the mistakes that he's made, and I don't believe that he's likely to make those mistakes again. Though it was a troublesome journey getting to this point, I think that given the chance to show the rehabilitation, he would be successful at that.
Judge, I neglected to mention that at the time in which this offense occurred, he was listed as living with his mother. So his family support was available during the time frame that he committed that offense. I don't see anything different with what he's suggesting to you today. That address that's alleged here, that the detective refers as his mother's address.
The Lee Street.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything in response on that? Because that's a good, I think the state's got a good point there. I mean, he's. This is on March 9th, last year. He's still playing hide and seek from us. He's not being held, he's not being accountable when he had an opportunity to, and he knew that he was surrounded and the trap was getting tighter. It would have been nice for him to come forth and show some contriteness and accept responsibility. Yeah, we're talking about the underlying, not to lose track of what we're talking about here, but I can't feel sorry for a child pornographer. Every image of a child is a victimization, every image. Can't imagine how many separate victimizations you were part of in all of these convictions, which or I'm adding one. I think 12, 13, 14. 14 misdemeanor and felony convictions total. And then this failing to comply with sex offender registration is very important so that the authorities can monitor someone, because we all know sex offenses have a tendency to repeat if the monitoring and supervision is not strict, like what we're showing here. What are you asking for?
I'm asking for him to have a chance on straight probation, judge.
And great lady, she's works hard for her clients. She can't produce something that doesn't exist, though. She has to have something to work with. How many probations have you been on that you failed and were revoked on?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe my DUI convictions were successfully completed.
Talking about,
Felony level offenses, judge,
yeah,
would just be the ones from Florida. There's
Mhm.
several different counts,
Six
but they
of
were
them.
all
6. Okay. And just to correct at least one, this 98 Brazos County DWI, you were on probation, that was revoked and you received 75 days in jail on that. So you do have a misdemeanor revocation, but I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 revocations of probation when you were placed on probation in out of Collier County, Florida, for electronic transmittal of child pornography in each of those cases. And then you're sentenced to 5 years probation, 5 years imprisonment on those, correct? Altogether. Yeah. And just one last question here. What is your explanation for on March 9th, 2024, when the officers show up at this address after locating you? You had had a decade of committing the crime of failing. Every day was a crime of failing to register. So a decade, but you know they were there and you still did not turn yourself in until later, right? I wish you would have had a change of heart earlier until when you knew that the trap had been shut and it was just a matter of time. But I wish you would have made better choices. But I also wish that each of these children who were victimized in this very widespread crime spree you were in, I just wish they wouldn't have been victimized. I feel sorry for them. Anything else?
All I can say is I am going to go forward, no matter what happens. I am going to go forward and do the right thing.
Never too late.
Never too late, sir. And I do plan on complying in every manner and facet.
If you don't, it's a crime.
Yes, sir.
Again,
Yes, sir.
nothing further. I'm going to find you have pleaded guilty to this third-degree felony of failing to comply with sex offender registration requirements. You have pleaded guilty voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently. There was sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea. From State's Exhibit 1 admitted into your plea hearing to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this offense. I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 5 years. You will be given credit for all time you have served in accordance with this case. And you're not serving, you don't have any other cases that you must serve sentences for, do you? Have you served out all those others as far as you know?
Yes, sir.
Because you were sentenced to 5 years in prison on all these Florida cases that ran concurrently.
Yes, all that was already served. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you are currently registered properly under the sex offender program?
Yes, sir. And I'm living at the halfway house in Beaumont.
Fine. Okay, then that is the judgment of this court. The court finds under these circumstances, this is fair and just. And you were taken into custody to serve to complete this sentence and do better on all of this from here on. That is all. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more crazy court hearings like this one.